talking to Ibvs today here. We've got him on the casting couch.
Chaos, yeah. I'm Tiggs.
So,
I'm Clint.
I'm Benny.
oh, we got that out of the way.
We got that out of the way.
Is it Ibvs or Ibvs?
Ibvs.
Ibvs.
Like
Yes.
the bird.
Yes,
like
the
the
bean
bird.
chicken, like the bean chicken.
Yes.
Because it's a U, right? But it looks like a V to be all cult looking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the proper
Yes.
thing to do, isn't it? Like you change A's
Plus,
to V's.
It's an airport bus company.
It is.
If
and
you go Ibvs, so we have to change that.
And I don't know if he's meant it intentionally, but I think having the V also gives it more of that edge to be Ibis, not Ibus.
Correct.
Because of the bit? Was that on purpose or?
Well, it's if you go to Sweden, it's like Ibis. You know, you can sort of hear the silent V, but
Ibis.
is
See,
that
I'm I just didn't like the way it looked.
Yeah.
Yes.
It just looked stupid.
I think it looks good like
so
that.
just change it like that and still keep it what it was established at years and years and years ago when the guys came up with the idea.
Cool.
Yeah.
So so everyone knows that we're talking to, I'm actually pointing at stickers on Tiggs's bass tab, which you can't see. I just realised that they're over there. They're over that way.
There's a picture on there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go. There's one there.
Thanks, Dad. It's been no day for us. I didn't know.
Sweet. All right. So tell us about the band and the name. Let's start about the name. Where did the name come from?
That was me and Clint.
Yeah, we just wanted to. We didn't really care about the name, to be honest.
Yeah,
It was
well,
like-
it was the music, and then we
Yeah.
were like, what are we going to call this? And we wrote a few stupid names, and
I think we were probably
we agreed on a
a
lot.
bit sideways at the time. We were like, just had a good laugh about it.
Yeah.
So did it all start with bin chicken? Was it like bin chicken? Oh no, let's make
No, just, maybe we see one and go, oh, I was, there you go, that'll do it.
So will there be a song called Bin Chicken though?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to put any pressure on.
It'll be a really nice
Sounds like a
emo
concept
song.
Yeah.
Concept album.
Alright, so we've got the name out of the way. So talk about the actual band, you know. I think you guys have been doing this for a little while. What's the story there?
Yeah, we'll hit this one.
Yeah, so I guess, me and Benny used to play in the Final Fall for quite a few years, and you know, we always liked the heavier sort of stuff, and Final Fall was more on the punk side, you know, a bit of hardcore in there, a few little breakdowns, but we wanted to do something a bit more progressive and push ourselves as players, and then, you know, we used to just get together at one of our houses and electric drum kit, multi-track, and just write these little songs that were, you know, like 6-7 minutes, but section by section, so it could actually amount to something at the end, even though some of them you don't even want to hear, like it's just like death metal to something quiet to something proggy to something, and then I don't know, I quit playing drums when the Final Fall sort of gave up, and Benny moved to Europe for a couple of years, and then London, yeah,
Close.
so it's in Europe.
Same
I
now.
don't know.
Yeah,
It's
that
not-
is it.
not
It's
straight.
just across the ditch.
It's, yeah.
And then,
The
We
chewy
all
one.
used to share a
Yeah.
passport.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and I bought another drum kit because I was sick of being locked indoors and couldn't travel. And Benny hit me up. He goes, "Do you want to go for a jam? We can do some Ibvs stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, right, cool." And then we did that maybe once or twice, and then he brings Tiggs along, and I was like,
There was only one bass player I would call for this band, because it's not easy.
Yeah,
Let's be
yeah.
honest, like everyone, we're not fucking around, that's for sure.
Don't put too many tickets on it.
I haven't said anything yet. I haven't given my side of the story.
Blow it up there.
But yeah,
So
I mean,
wear it.
because
Keep
we
my
didn't,
head under control.
we didn't get that one.
well, we
bass
didn't really
player.
have bass in there. I just did it drunk. A couple of bass tracks on a shitty Ibanez with a pick, and I was never doing bass lines. We just to get the demo in there. But,
Just kind of following the guitars or something.
yeah, pretty much
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
what
yeah.
the guitars are doing.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's been going on for a while, and I guess we'll bring this up. You know, we've been in projects together, and you know, we've all done multiple projects as well.
Yeah.
What was the turning point of let's get this shit together and release some stuff?
Probably you know. Oh, you think? Yeah.
I was going to say that I suppose the plan was always to release something, but it was more recording based to begin with than it was live performance. So it's like, oh yeah, we'll get a show going, but let's get these songs to the point where we can just release something.
Yeah.
But it was then, what, about 4 months ago or something? Start of the year.
Yeah.
Went into the studio and recorded, and it was like, no, actually, we should probably really kick this into gear. I mean, we've been rehearsing pretty well let's say every second week.
Yeah.
On a Monday for a year now.
Yeah.
A year and 2 months. So it's always been going, but yeah, definitely the last sort of 4 to 6 months.
Cool. And where's the tracks recorded at?
Love Street Studios.
Scotty, we love you, legend.
Yeah.
He is a bit of a legend.
He's a legend.
Yeah,
he's a legend.
Really good to work with, really professional, good sounds. Yeah.
Like also motivation for me for getting something recorded was definitely high, because the last few bands have faded before it even gets to surface, as you know. I've done it a few times, so it was really an accomplishment to actually fucking have some music.
Yeah. So the first video and single has dropped.
Yes.
2 weeks.
Follows the Gaijin?
Yeah.
Something, is that what I said?
Gaijin.
Gaijin. What does that mean?
Japanese for foreigner, basically.
Yeah.
Or alien, if you
Oh,
want.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was actually, I think it was your idea, Clint.
Yeah, I knew the word because I got called Gaijin a couple of times in Japan, and I was like, they went, oh, Gaijin, and you're like, yeah, I'm a fucking obvious.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it sounded cool, it looked cool, so yep.
So is there some deep lyrical meaning behind that, Benny? You write all the lyrics, right?
Yeah, that's very, takes a couple of journeys, but just different perspectives on things.
Yeah,
and, a bit of alien touch in there, if,
Yeah. So the music does take some quite interesting twists and turns throughout there. So how do you figure out where that's happening, or when that's happening, or where you want to go at that point?
That's probably the hardest thing to do, actually. I think it's just jamming it, just feeling where it should go.
Yeah.
I think in our early stuff in the demos, it would just go and it just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
It's just too many bits, but
A lot of snap changes.
yeah, you just have to find the flow, I guess.
In the transition. That's
The transitions.
I reckon Tiggs helped a lot with that, with us, because we were very broad ranged and very. We want to make sure there's not just one style in a song. We want those multiple styles in the song. And then Tiggs came along, and just having that bass, I think, just gave it that flow, and you could sort of hear that. No, that's not right. We need something in there, or we need to take that away and put it somewhere else. Or,
Kind of starts making sense where it should fit in, what you're working with it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just very influenced by Between the Buried and Me. I think they do it beautifully.
You might be jumping the gun on questions here, Ben.
Oh, sorry. I'm not looking.
I don't think you can see that far anyway.
Not that I can read that.
Then he's like, next question, I'm going to
Ibvs is actually breaking my interview virginity here tonight. We filmed it, so we'll see how it goes. It may be very edited when it comes
It
out.
might be R-rated too.
Jesus. Have you dropped any F-bombs yet?
Fuck
Okay.
So, my next question, leading off the back of the songwriting, is the sound. So, I know you've brought up progressive, and it's going to get slotted in there, but these days, when you say progressive, I think politically correct, super woke, and who the fuck really wants to know about that? Anyway. Or, I instantly think boring as fuck like Tool, which you guys are not boring as fuck. It's all over the place, it's cool, it changes. So what would you actually call the sound,
Tiggs come up with that. Prog core, he said.
Prog core.
Yeah, because I don't even know what that means, but it
Looks like hardcore and prog. We've got that breakdown element.
We don't want to have to go where metal / rock alternative.
Yeah, because you could put like 7 or 8 songs in there.
So
it's very experimental.
There's not many 4/4 beats in it. It's not rock or metal to that extent. It's working off a completely different timing signature.
Yeah.
So for me, that makes it progressive. Prog. Yeah. It could be prog folk music for all I care. As long as it's got that quirky aspect to.
Yeah, cool. You mentioned Between the Buried and Me, so what else is in there? What are the other influences?
I'll just rattle off a couple, go through, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, With Honour, that's one. Wilhelm Scream, Propaganda, a lot of punk, and then Periphery. It'd be me, Clint would have a few, I'd say.
Probably top three between the Berry Me, between the Berry Me, between the
Very, very influenced.
I grew up listening and trying to play a lot of Dream Theater, Symphony X. So a lot of that, you know, the really experimental sort of progressive rock sort of broke through after Rush. Just because they all had such good drummers and playing the drums.
I can hear the Dream Theater stuff in there. There's definitely a bit of that that pokes through to me. What about you, Tis?
For me, there's a perfect circle, which I think is where we kind of dip into our melodic side of things that we do. There's definitely a punk background for me, but there's also reggae and that sort of thing. So, like, I hear sometimes corn in our breakdowns.
Yeah.
It's not corn, but the sounds there. It's the same.
So I may or may not have heard some of the other stuff.
Yes.
a little preview, and I have heard the weird little stuff. Like there's moments to me of full-on kind of funk, and then there's it's funk, but it kind of pushes towards that reggae kind of feeling as well, like I've heard in the other songs. So yeah, it's
definitely Tiggs's bass. We
We
just feed off him with those bits.
And obviously the rest of the band follows.
That
Like
must
groove,
be the Tiggs bass solo song.
Which one?
All right, where am I up to?
Number 3.
What's next? What's happening? So we've got the single and the video out. Is there another one coming out? Is there an EP or what? Give us the news. What's coming up?
So EP at the back end of June. So we've got round shows at the moment. So Friday night, as in this Friday, 13th, we're up in Brizzy at Tomcat. So that'll be our first Brizzy show. And then we're going up to Sunny Coast a couple of weeks after that, 11 Bar. The first time we're up there. First time we've ever played that joint.
It's a very cool venue. It's awesome.
I can't wait.
And then back down here on the 29th at Mo's, and that's when we're looking at tying in another video clip and the EP.
Cool.
So a couple of shows under the belt, and then after that, I mean, writing again. We're keen. We've got riffs. We've been dabbling while all this has been going on, but
well, that's cool because you just answered like 3 of my next questions. So we got shows. We got shows coming up, which we'll put that info in the cover story for you. So heavy readers, check it out. That'll be there. The guys are working on releasing an EP late June, and possibly another video in between.
Yes.
Yeah, it's off getting mastered now.
After that, now that COVID has unofficially fucked off. Are there plans? Well, you know, it's kind of just disappeared. We're like, everyone's just fucking dying of it at the moment. Who cares? But what's the plans after that? We maybe East Coast tour or something, take it a bit further on the road, or
I've already been thinking about that since I started this band.
yeah, right.
I just I love to travel. I love getting new places. In a band, it's fucking even better.
Yeah.
Even if the show's, I don't want to say shit, but might be no people there, but you meet new people, you get the Ibvs out there more, and
It's always a hell of a time, even.
Flying out of town is fun.
It's a holiday,
Cool. All right. I think that's about it. That's what it says on my list, right? It says, well, I think that's about it for me. But have you guys got anything that you would like to add before we finish this up?
I'd like to thank everyone that's helped us to this point. Yes. Jesus, there's been a lot of people who've turned around and gone, yep, I'll help you with that.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
Thank you guys. Heavy
probably, I don't want to miss any, there's probably a lot, but Bocky, One Way Boulevard, Christian, Rick, Beats Cartel,
Fortitude Brain, Mostronics.
Mesa.
It's actually quite fucking awesome at the moment, I think, how much support there is in the scene. Because a little while back it wasn't so much like that. There was a bit of kind of, I don't know if you'd call it infighting, but everyone was just trying to be number one and didn't give a shit about everyone else. But now it's like,
and I've
been out for a while.
So it was nice to come back to that, because that's not what I remember. Not that I'm saying that people didn't offer to help us before, but it just feels different. There's a more, even more optimistic outlook to it all, rather than got to get ahead. It's kind of.
And I think a lot of people actually realise that you know, like you said, COVID's officially sort of, or unofficially fucked
Fuck
off.
off, yeah.
People are like, well, fuck, we're able to get out again now, you know, let's do all that shit we wanted to do, but we couldn't do when we were all fucking locked up, you know. So, yeah, I think that sort of helped it as well. So, it's so refreshing.
Guess there's one positive out of COVID that we can take away.
100%.
And the shows are coming back on, the tours, the festivals are back on, so hopefully you guys will be smashing the shit out of it real soon, right?
So
That's the plan. That's the plan.
Sweet, alright, well, we're actually in the guys' rehearsal room, so we'll let them get back to it. Thanks to everyone for watching. This is Ibvs.
Cheers.